It's dark matter and
There we go. You can see.
Yes.
Ooh, I like the evil looks.
It's dark matter and
Wait, aren't we missing one?
Oh,
Oh,
I don't know.
fuck Dark Matter. No, Dark Matter's in the road. He's in London, EU, I think. But thanks for the new format. We do get to deliver you an episode, unlike previous times. So it's gonna be just me and Iceman this week. How are you, my friend?
Jet lagged. Just like Dark Matter will be in a bit because he's on the road to London and Black Hat EU. I was at the Black Hat MEA Middle East. And
Yeah.
I still...
So if you haven't checked out the interview that Iceman did with Captain, is a good short clip that's on YouTube. A couple housekeepings. There's a difference between the YouTube and the podcast. The podcast will only cover the main show, this show, whereas the YouTube will have a little various shorter clips that we recorded or we have created over when we're on the road or whatnot. So you have a little bit more stuff to watch at whenever you do. Also, some of our loyal followers have reached out to me and asked if we could do a live show with a live chat. Like I said, this new format, we're trying to work things out, but it will have to be on a different date and time because of all the different time zones. But that's one of the reasons why I set up the YouTube as a premiere, because when it goes as a premiere, there's a live chat option there for us to, hang out and chat. I try to be on every one of them as much as I can, but so yeah, whenever
it's that's what you get.
Yeah,
that's
so
what Premiere does.
Yeah, so when you do Premiere, it will load the video as a live stream, almost like a live stream. And people can chat as we go, as the video plays. So I know it's not ideal, but it is what it is for now. So any show notes per episode will be in the description of the podcast and the YouTube description. Yeah, so we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, we're on Podbean. So the one caveat there is that I had to name the show Wireless Shit Show, and shit show as a one word to bypass the obscenity filter. Because if I did it wireless shit space show, it says, well, you can't have that kind of word in your podcast title. But if I did a shit show, it's fine because it doesn't register as like an obscene word. So if you're looking for the shit show, one word search is your friend.
Yeah, I get the red wiggles on that spelling thing every time I do it. It's not because El Cantaro doesn't know how to write English. It's because he is bypassing filters.
No, there's that and both. So I saw a couple pictures on the beach, man. So wait, you're in the desert and then you went to a beach?
Oh, isn't that the same thing? It's just sand.
It is sand. But there was a lot of leg skin showing on those pictures, my friend. I was like, because like I wake up at like in the morning and just to get ready to hit the day. I hit my Instagram feed and I see your legs. I'm like, shit. Maybe one day we'll have only feeds just of the feet of the three of us all over the world.
Oh.
Anyway, with just the two of us, there's one news item that I wanted to cover, which it didn't get as much attention as I thought it would be, which is the NXP hack. NXP suffered a long-term hack, I think.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
By some APT. I think Chimera is being blamed for it, the APT group Chimera. It popped up and then a couple people jumped on saying, hey, this is a big deal. And this kind of wiggled away. Now, NXP might not be the most known chip company, I guess, but it is.
That's what you're talking about.
Right.
It's one of the 18th largest in the world, I would say. It's kind of known.
Right.
Billions of products. So
right. But why is it specifically of interest to the wireless shit show, would you say?
Yeah, that's how come it's relevant for us? Oh yeah, for sure. That's a very good one. It's because it's RFID and NFC based, and they have a lot of shit about that.
So NXP and Sony were the co-inventor for protocol for NFC, right?
Yeah, for sure. Sony did the Felica format, I think. That's very popular in your parts of the world, in Japan and places. And then NXP is a Dutch company, which is known for what everybody knows in my world, in RFID world is the MyFair Classic, and then the MyFair Plus and MyFair Ultralight you have for ticket systems, and then the latest security product is called the MyFair Desfire. So that's very popular. But it's not only that. I mean, the biggie, what I say about that is not just the cards. They will also do chips. I mean, stuff like, I just digged around in boxes about it. This is the development chips from NXP. This is like other chips, NFC-based chips that you build into products. So you have most likely an NXP chip in your phone, your smartphone or Android. Stuff like that is, they all programmed and all designed. When I saw it, I was like, this is fucking insane. Have we spent 10 minutes? So I'm allowed to curse now on the show.
Anytime. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. Because it's fucking insane. I saw that shit. And I was like, it's like, this is mad. The hackers was there for over 2.5 years. I'm like, This is insane. This is a secure manufacturer of secure chips, and it's really high. And they had threat actors in their networks for 2.5 years without noticing. And they didn't notify the customers.
Right.
It's like mental blown. I predicted, like I heard, like last week, like last Saturday it was, and I thought, like, yeah, Monday the stock on NXP will, go down because it's such a major impact, and it just floated out. It just disappeared. It's just nothing, which is for me very, very odd.
Right. So I think for a specific segment who looks into a lot of hardware, like I have heard of the name, I've come around, across them as I do a little bit of RFID NFC stuff in the hardware stuff world, but it's not like Intel, right? Or it's not like, I don't know, Alpha, right?
In our world,
or MediaTek, right?
They are like that. They are
right.
that big. It's an enormous company.
People be like, well, where's the impact of it? And then, like you mentioned, right? I think even Apple and Android both use their chip for their contactless payment, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. So all your chip, tap and pay and all that stuff. All the access cards and stuff like that. So they
in both ways, right? Not just the card, but also the reader, right?
So this is an NXP card. This is an Ultralight. This is dim. So they actually do a card and we do hardware. So we do both the IC, the antenna, the cards. We do the chips that's in your phone and all that stuff. Their range of products that covers it all, the whole thing. And they're very good at it. They're exceptionally good at it. That's why other companies makes clones of it. So there are other known companies who make clones of MyFair Classic. It's called Fudan, or
But like MyFair, for example, what is the MyFair standard often used for that regular people would interact with?
Oh, God heavens, you would use it for everything. You have it in the access control systems, HID, bus ticket system, ultralights. You have hotel systems, hospitality systems. And
so, like, for example, regularly, if you check into a hotel, they give you a contactless card. The likelihood of that being a MyFair card is high, right?
Likelihood for that being a product made by NXP is like 9.5 out of 10.
We were talking about this off the show. This breach, I thought, was a bigger deal too, right?
Has to be. I mean, what I'm curious about, how they manage, one, not inform the customers, because they have some sensitive customers as well. Two, not own the stock owners, and then their internal security. And it's not like they are a bad company anyway. I mean, so the threat actor, the Chimera, I reached out to my contacts in the underground and I asked about it, and it's like they got back saying, yeah, that most likely is a governmental sponsored threat actor, that name, and they did not want to answer more after that. That's what I got. I was like, nope, not talking about that.
So if the breach, whoever breached them got access to, at this point, I don't think we know what they got access to. I might be
nothing. It's silence. It's totally stonewalled.
But if they did get access to, I don't know, chip design or source code, that would be big, right?
Oh yeah. Let's see. It's a big company, right? Plenty of employees. Let's see what we can. They most likely have segmented everywhere. So what would they have got access to? The normal stuff, emails and all that stuff, dialogue and internal documents. The question is, on what kind of internal documents would it be? NXP has all the data sheets, which is like enormous amount of knowledge there, and they all NDA walked. So it's under you have to sign an NDA to get access to it, limits of it. And those documents is hard as fuck to get hold of. Would be one thing I think they would have scraped off quite fast, all those documents. And that would be all the data sheets, the technical specifications of how a system works, which is very good knowledge to have. That would be compiled to like tens of decades of knowledge compressed in those documents. Other things, source code. Okay, what kind of source code? Source code for actually, yes, how you run the stuff. Like I said, how to run these chips. Source code in the chip itself, the firmware on those things, like on the ICs. Designs is the next thing because the manufacturer of products is like how to design it. The crown jewel of industrial espionage.
Right.
I think we would see this as espionage. I think that's what you have to see this as.
I think the intellectual property angle is a high. But do you think? I think there's some discussions online somewhere in the world that saying, well, this is their way of going to backdoor everything. Do you think that's a likelihood? I mean, we had that I don't know a couple years back about that mystery chip on motherboards.
That little rice.
Yeah, rice.
It's like, and then you have a chipper chip that NSA backdoored and all the cryptos. Right. The tinfoil people is going to have a field day for this. What I think about that? Well, it depends if you got access to the source code repositories, and I mean, a lot of his designs doesn't change, so the firmware doesn't change that easily in the RFID cards.
Right.
So I don't do you. It's going to be in the backdoors there. The firmware or source code to change how to operate it, maybe, but I don't know.
I feel that's a really long and winded way of getting to somewhere where there's maybe an easier angle.
Yeah, why would you backdoor your Intel processor? It's like, oh, okay. It's like, well, so I don't think that's it. I don't think we went for backdoor, and I think that's quite unlikely.
If it's an intellectual property, do you think they're gonna leverage that off to come up with a new standard that they have better control? Whoever.
I don't know the product cycle at NXP. I know some people in the community used to work for NXP, and the good people, smart people, and I mean the product life cycle there is like 10 years at least.
Right.
So I mean, DESFi is the latest securest one, and that's been out for at least 13 years. In some iterations, of course. I think the latest iteration is from 2016, so that's 7 years. Maybe, and I hope, of course, they must be having an amazing research development or an RD department. So if there were time to, look at unreleased products, question is if a hack got that, so they can match it directly, or if we just got the old stuff. I mean, if we got the old stuff, maybe we will see, hardware clones like the Fudan makes of the MIFARE Classic. We would see that as a cheaper alternative in the MIFARE DESFi cards.
So what are DESFi cards?
DESFi card is the latest secure RFID cards from NXP. They are EOL 6+ standard or something like that, so they're really secure, measured, and they are in evolution 3 now, so it's in 4 product iterations of it. Consumer grade this is top notch. That's it. Everybody talks about a magic DESFi card. Everybody talks about a magic DESFi card would be when you can change the unique identifier on a card to match another one, and read out keys and read out memories without any previous authentication to the cards. Stuff like that would make it a magic card. That's what we call it. That would be something that might come out commercialized. If you look at it, if you make your own copy of DESFi, because DESFi costs a lot of money to buy.
The license fee.
The license fee, yeah, exactly. Or just buy it. That would be that, if you come out with a clone of it, you can sell it a little bit cheaper and you have a mass market. You have the whole market as the same product as NXP with the most secure chip. That's gonna hurt the business in one sense.
So maybe the impact is more economical than technology. Is that? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that would be my conclusion of it. Actually, imagine you can go to iPhone and Apple and say, here, you don't need to buy NXP's chip, you can buy our chip. We do exactly the same as them. We're full support what they're doing, and but you can buy it for $2 less. You have to remember, I think MIFARE Classic sold over 1 billion units over the years. And NXP is so huge. So that makes me wonder as well, how on earth did they manage to put a lid on it? That's what I'm wondering.
The irony that NXP is known for building secure chips, right?
Yeah.
Whereas their IT security kind of lapsed somewhere, this time. And, I'm not saying that there's a company out there that is hack proof, right? Any company, any day, from small to large, can get hacked. It shows how hard security sometimes can be, right?
If you come to the security angle, which is, I totally agree with you, it's much harder than you think. I've been fortunate to attend some bug bounty bashes live events, and when I meet the people there, it's like the top-notch 200 people in the world, and they talk about things how they hack, and it's like, we usually come into the concept of phishing, and I realize I would fall for a phishing attempt that's serious. Then have knowledge about me, inside knowledge. I would click on that damn link. In the US.
Yeah, I almost replied back to a DM I got over Instagram, and I was like, I haven't talked to this guy for a while, and I was like, and then he started saying something that didn't make sense. I'm like, wait. Then I checked, there was like a little period in his name. I'm like, oh fuck.
I think it takes the social engineering part of it is so successful. When I looked at it, I looked like this. For the regularly employed, like in the States, if you lose a job, if you don't do this, if you got an email saying, this is your closest boss,
right,
and you're not computer literate in that sense, and it's saying, if you don't fill in your damn time report here, or you're being accused of sexual harassment, colleague, please respond to this mail. That's your job to, if that's the only job in your low level job, you would click that link because you don't want to lose your job.
Right.
It's things like that. You would just go for it because why wouldn't you? So I would say, you can't give them awareness programs, it's trainings, if you have 10,000 employees and awareness programs, people will fall for that shit anyway. What I do expect is the C-level of people, the upper management, all the managers and upper level, and their secretaries or whatever they have, assistants they have, those are the people I would think would, they need to be really aware, because those are the golden targets. You want those people, right? The key personnel. So if one of those falls for it, I think that's a shame. That's someone who didn't do the awareness training properly, like we should.
Often when a company gets breached, all of it gets kind of bungled into one. I think that, the whole security failed. As a translator, I get called into meetings where they're trying to discuss security posture and whatnot. And I'm translating between the professionals and the client. And I'm just sitting there like, why don't you just spend time training and doing common sense? And they're like, we'll put all these rules in the walls in there and whatnot. And I'm like, and I think that is also often, when people come to me and says, I wish I could hack this. I'm like, yeah, but there's an easier way in, right? I mean, it's just like, that's the lazy me going, why would you want to do that if you have, and I often say,
develop this super chip that I'm gonna.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, yeah, but you could just ask. I have a Bluetooth enabled lock on my door here, and people are like, aren't you worried about the security of that? It's like, no, because there's nothing in this bat cave that I don't mind replacing. I mean, there are a couple books that I wish they don't steal, but I doubt that thieves will go through my bookshelf and go, I'm going to grab that book, right? Because they're personal to me, right? And there are a couple things that are personal to me that, I don't want to lose. But to break the key here, they would have to, set up an SDR, capture my packets, decrypt the protocol, do a replay attack or whatnot. And I'm just like, or they can just ask me, just like, look, I mean, that's like,
or knock on the door, or kick in the door, or go through the window.
The threat model that I'm facing here is a bit different, right? Like this place, because this is an apartment complex, it's very hard to hide, especially when I'm 7 stories up. So either they have to be in the building across or right underneath or above this floor. And the hallways are so small, if somebody sets up an antenna, somebody's going to notice. So, the likelihood of that Bluetooth door getting breached through Bluetooth is very low here.
It would be a technic savvy teenager who wants to do things, with his flipper.
Yeah. for now, it's okay. I mean, I wouldn't put it on a secure facility, right? Where I know there's sensitive nature, and then there's a lot of places to hide, and there's a lot of off hours that they could capture the signal and whatnot. But here, it's so out in the open that for me, that's not a big threat, right? I wouldn't put a Wi-Fi lock on it. No, I know, but I mean, the one reason is that when the network goes down, not being able to get in is going to be really annoying for me.
I mean, and I have kids. I mean,
Right.
it's just enough, just ring the doorbell when the kids are home.
Yeah. So no, I agree.
What will they do? It's like, okay. It's like, yes, we are from a rental company. Okay, yes, we'll let them in.
I think the fallout of going back to the story itself, I guess the NXP, I think is going to be more economical than everything being backdoored.
I'm super curious though. So this is a shout out for everybody who listens to this one in this field or sector, because I really want to know what they got. And if you got data sheets and documents,
all right,
don't be a stranger.
Do not send them to the wireless shit show, because I don't need to be like on another list. Send them directly, securely on a secure USB drive to the address down below to Iceman's home cave. So somebody's gonna go like, "Oh, Iceman, you wanted these?" And they're gonna like DM me PDFs on the Twitter, and I'm like, "Fuck,"
Send them all to El Cantaro.
No, they don't. No, don't send them my way. Send them Iceman's way.
He will actually be my cleaning anyway. Yeah. So economically, yes. Yeah. I hope it doesn't do anything for them. I hope it just was emails and inside of stock things, decisions, management stuff. I hope that for them. It would be sad if they actually got hit too. If I look at it as sober, whatever you want to do it. But if I did get something, don't be a stranger.